Brought to you by Podcast City Network. You're listening to The Everett Lee Show. A shot of entertainment to the head. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the entertainment.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Everett Lee Show podcast, brought to you by the Podcast City Network, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting podcast. I'm not alone tonight, man. Everett Lee's not alone. I have some guests with me tonight. I have joining me my charismatic co-host, as usual, McShaft.
Also known as Cody from the new Podcast City Network podcast, Forking Around with Cody, for all your restaurant and bar reviews.
That's right.
There we go. Look at that. Alter egos.
And joining me and McShaft on this podcast for this Wednesday night live stream on the Podcast City Network is none other than the host of the Chris Carnage Show and the voice of CCE Presents, Chris Carnage.
Hey, fans.
What's up? How are you gentlemen doing tonight on this Wednesday night?
Fat.
What?
Fat.
About the same.
Yeah.
About the same.
We're fat. That's how we're doing. I feel like a fat guy.
So I'm just chilling.
Hey, there you go.
You chilling like a villain, guys?
Oh, like Magellan in my Magellan shoes.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wow. That's great, man. That is great. So y'all excited? Ready for this podcast tonight?
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
Oh, as always. It's always great to be on the show.
It's always great, ain't it?
I'd like to point out that McShaft here tonight is being fueled by the glorious Monster Energy. Pick up a Monster Energy drink at any 7-Eleven or convenience store. And by the returning classic soda beverage, Surge. Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Wow.
I'm drinking the, I'll turn on my alter ego here for a second. Hello, this is Cody from Forking Around with Cody. Right here I have a decadent Monster Energy juice. It is the Mango Loco. It is a mango-flavored energy drink. I prefer the Monster juice better than the regular Monster because of the less carbonation and more of a juice factor to it, which enhances the flavor in every sip. You like that?
That is crazy, man. That is crazy. Chris, I am trying to up your outage here. Trying to get you louder than what you normally are. I'm trying to make you loud, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Why don't you go ahead?
You better tongue slash this fart box.
Hey, man. What's Chris Carnage been doing? What's that?
Oh, I'm just been doing all kinds of craziness. I'm actually getting ready. All I hear is myself.
I hear you.
We hear you. Everybody in the chat here, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll do it this way.
There we go.
So, at the end of the day, we have a lot of big things planned. Tomorrow will be the drop of the very first episode of the Chris Carnage Show.
Hell yeah. Chris Carnage, man. It's going to be freaking awesome, man. We're going to have Chris Carnage Show. We have McShaft with his show. And it's going to be great and fantastic, man. It is. It's just going to be a great time.
And for all of you...
big things lined up. I have two, not one, but two big interviews that are lined up that are going to be on the show tomorrow. So everybody needs to make sure that they stay glued, not only to the Chris Carnage page, but also to the Podcast City Network page for when that episode.
And for all of our viewers tonight watching the video version of this podcast, you can see that we are wearing the exclusive brand new Podcast City Network t-shirts. Okay, we got merchandise, people. Merchandise.
That's right. Right here, ladies and
there it
gentlemen. The new Podcast City Network t-shirts you can see right here I'm wearing, and McShaft is sporting right there. You can get these shirts. Where at, Chris?
There it is.
Do we even have any yet? Are these the only ones? Oh, we're going to have way many more. So make sure that you go online, Podcast City Network, on the Facebook page, and podcastcity.net. And we'll have a lot of announcements and a lot of things I'll be posting very soon that you'll be able to get your hands on these shirts.
That's right.
Hell yeah. Yep. You will be able to get these shirts with all the announcements, everything coming to you from the Podcast City Network, a network that we independent podcasters has come together and band together to create a network for everyone's enjoyment and entertainment. But you know what's really fun is tonight about this podcast is that we got a lot to talk about, man, a lot to going on and stuff. If you've checked out the post on Facebook on the Podcasting Network and the Everett Lee Show page on Facebook, then you know what I'm talking about. What's going on tonight on this podcast, this live stream. The Three Amigos, we haven't gone live in a long time, which is great. I mean, it's been forever, it seems like. So it was just perfect that we all come together and decide to go live and talk about some stuff going around. We're going to talk about a segment called Tweeting Around. We're talking about some Altered Carbon Netflix show, the Cloverfield Paradox Universe. The Venom trailer, our reactions on that, and Deadpool 2 trailer reaction.
Yeah.
Along with a random Reddit thread. Then we'll jump over into some wrestling. Talk about some WWE, Raw and SmackDown live. Some ROH and New Japan. And we'll talk about the Hall of Fame, who got inducted in the Hall of Fame. It's been announced. And talk about...
Oh, yeah, this week's Hall of Fame announcement was quite a surprise.
It was. I didn't expect it. Did you, Chris?
Oh, quite the surprise.
I know. I didn't expect that either. Talk about Triple H, what his role backstage is with WWE, and what the hell's up with this dual brand pay-per-view stuff we've been talking about. All this coming to you tonight from the Everett Lee Show, and it's brought to you by the Podcast City Network, ladies and gentlemen. The Podcast City Network. You could go over to podcastcity.net, the official website of the Podcast City Network, and you can check out shows such as The Everett Lee Show, ELS Uncut, Films a Classic, Forking Around with Cody, The Chris Carnage Show, The Grimlock Show, Imaginarium with Scott and Todd, and Super Radio Brothers podcast, all coming to you from podcastcity.net. And those viewing the live stream, you can view us and check us out on social media, facebook.com/Podcast City Network. You're on Twitter? Send us a tweet over on Twitter. We love to hear from you on Twitter. You can send us a tweet over on Twitter at Podcast City Net. Wow, I'm out of breath. Did I miss anybody? And, of course, we got the show number right there, ladies and gentlemen. You want to call in and say, what's up to Chris, McShaft, and me? Go ahead. Give us a call at 386-206-1595 on the Everett Lee Show.
Don't forget to mention the official ELS sponsored dog, Roman.
Roman.
He's part of our street team.
Yeah, he's street team. That's right. So let's get going with this tweeting around.
The official ELS canine. See that?
That's right. I want to start off and say, Chris, I did watch. Did you watch have you watched Altered Carbon?
No, I haven't. But,
dude, man, God, you gotta watch it. You gotta freaking watch it. I'm telling you, gotta watch it.
I have to share my kind of first.
You gotta watch it.
Interaction with Altered Carbon. So, if you don't know, there was a huge technology convention, I would say about a couple months ago, right before Christmas. And what YouTube did was they actually planted in the middle of this convention, without anybody knowing, the stuff from Altered Carbon, like the artificial bodies and everything. Mm-hmm. And they threw it up, and people were like, Instagramming, social media about this. And no one had any idea it was a Netflix show. People thought it was actually legit real. So when I'm scrolling through one day, I see this. I'm like, holy crap, it's like Minority Report or like The Sixth Day with Schwarzenegger already. You know,
Wow.
like I'm thinking to myself, in about 5 years, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not the clone. He's the clone. You know. Well, come to find out, it was all about altered carbon. So I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't actually real, but at the same time, now I'm interested in the show.
Yeah, dude. Chris, how far are you into watching this show already?
I'm roughly 3 episodes in. And honestly, it is amazing. I tell you what, it is just insane, just the kind of world they have created with this show.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a fantastic, man. I watched the first episode, man. If you have not watched this, if you guys watch Netflix, I suggest that you definitely watch this because it is something, man. I could believe. I mean, with the beginning of the episode, how it goes with the. I'm going to spoil just a little bit here with the guy, man, how he can kind of see through walls a little bit. I'm like, why is that? But they never really got into that.
What's
just
the whole
yet.
plot of the show?
The whole plot of the show is that in the future, you can basically, if I'm telling this right, Chris, in the future, your soul gets downloaded on some kind of like S drive or something.
Yeah, like a microchip thing.
Microchip.
Yeah.
And it's inserted into the back neck of a human body.
Right.
And you basically
Right in the spinal column.
right in the spinal column. And then basically when that body goes, before it goes, you could take it out and transfer it to another body. Now what was crazy was the main character, wakes up after 250 years. 250 years, okay? He wakes up and he's like, he don't know what's going on. He don't look the same. He notices he's in some kind of different body. Come to find out, yeah, it's
Well, you know what? I think I have somebody who's actually seen all of the entire first season. I'm actually trying to get him on the line right now.
Oh, you are? Yeah. You tweeting him the number?
Oh, I just sent it over, so
Yes.
he should be calling very shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome to hear from him. Yeah, me and Cody.
Oh, just let you know, EOS tonight, we're also snacking on Bugles. Yes, Bugles. The food from the 1980s. A poor man's dream right here. Bugle chips. We're enjoying the bold barbecue flavor.
But I watched that first episode, man. All I got to say is I'm like, holy crap, man. This is just freaking fantastic. I mean, that especially at the beginning when the guy's trying to figure out what, the flashback of everything that happened when him getting killed and everything. And then him waking up 250 years in a new body.
So let me ask you this, though. The 250 years, is it like 2018, 250 years? Or is it like 2,250 or something like that?
Well, let's add this person right here. Ladies and gentlemen, joining the Everett Lee Show is none other than Mr. Derek, Mr. Grimlock from the Grimlock Show. What's up, man? You on? Hello.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
Oh, you scared me.
Answer.
Hello?
Answer.
Hello?
Answer. He should be on. Are you on right now?
No, I think we lost him.
We lost him.
I think Everett Lee is tripping over here. He thinks he's seeing stuff on Skype. It's like white noise, but it's like EOS noise.
Well, have him call right back, man. Tell him to call right back. Is he?
So,
Is he trying?
Yeah, give him a moment.
Okay.
So from what I've seen, like when they were like teasing this thing online and everything, I mean, it looks pretty legit. Like I think when I get done with here tonight with the podcast, I'm gonna go home and watch the first episode.
Oh, dude, you should. All right, here he is again. Here he is. Okay. All right. Add to group call. Okay. All right.
Oh,
You
hello.
there?
Hola.
Hola,
Hello. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Mr. Grimlock. You on the Everett Lee Show?
Thank you.
Oh, there.
Yes, there he is, ladies and
There
gentlemen.
he is.
We got
Dos
both of them.
cervezas.
How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Great, man.
Very
Great,
Mexican.
great. Chris said you may or may not call in, and I'm like, oh man, we gotta have Mr. Grimlock. We have to have him, man. and we got
what
him.
we're doing.
So we're talking about that new Netflix show,
Yes.
Altered Carbon. Have you actually seen the first season of this?
Bear with me here. Having some difficulties. Technical difficulties.
You have.
Have I?
Have you? Have you seen Altered Carbon? We're talking about Altered Carbon. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
How?
does he wake up in 2018, or is it like 250 years past 2018?
Yeah. What's the timeline in this? I know it's in the future, but how far in the future is it?
So the timeline is, I've watched all the episodes. I know that it takes place after a certain point in man's history where we have gone and colonized stars. And along that process, we have found alien tech. Not much is said about what it actually is,
Mm-hmm.
but it's called Altered Carbon. And that's the premise of the show, Altered Carbon, because it allowed a person who you find out to create the, I guess it would be disc. I think they're called disc, or there's a term for what they're called. But essentially, you could say that your animus, your soul, is downloaded into this disc, and it's more like your memories and who you are.
Uh-huh.
Now, you could be downloaded into sleep. Sleep is the word for another body, or that you could be jacked into, essentially. So you get to a point where this is sometime the galaxies have been, at least a galaxy has been explored, if not the universe has been, and it's populated the stars. And now this is 250 years after a major event occurred with this particular protagonist and antagonist. He wakes up 250 years later to solve a crime. One of the what you call a net is basically a person that he's 360 years old himself.
Uh-huh.
Before them, it alludes that there were people that were older than them, but then there was a war to get rid of to stop those types of people because of the amount of, basically you're immortal and there's no turnover. Like somebody could be filthy rich and there's so few of the elite class, and everybody else lives in slums or on cold storage, and just like this guy who comes out of
Dude.
frozen.
So it's kind of like
Yeah.
a cross between like Minority Report and like The Sixth Day, kind of.
Kind of like Demolition Man too, if you think
Yeah.
about it, with Snipes and Stallone, man. It's freaking great. The story's awesome. It sounds awesome, man. Watching that first episode was just crazy. How he wakes up and he starts he busts out one guy's nose, and the man's like, "Oh, damn, you bust my freaking nose, man!" And then all of a sudden he get up, he's like, "Where am I?" And they explain it to him, and he's like, "Where's the bathroom?"
Like Austin Powers. It's like Austin Powers. Remember Austin Powers, and he got unfrozen? He went there and took like a 20-minute leak.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it was. That was really, really crazy how that happened right there. It was. But yeah, I suggest anyone that watches this, I suggest that they get on Netflix and I
Check it out.
For sure.
Yes,
Now,
definitely.
is this
check
one
it
of those
out.
like Netflix original series?
Yeah.
Okay, because like they do some pretty good series and some good movies too.
Yeah.
Almost definitely.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's kind of surprising how like Netflix started out as just a streaming service, and now they do their own TV shows and movies.
It is.
I mean, that's pretty
is.
cool. It almost kind of makes me want to like start up my own film company, and do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure if they could make like the Blair Witch or, like that Paranormal Activity, like super cheap and then make like millions of dollars at it. I mean, anybody can.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
We should do that. Podcast City Network / film company, whatever. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be crazy. That definitely would be. But I'll tell you what, man. Check it out. It's on Netflix. You should definitely check it out. Did anyone check out the Cloverfield Paradox?
No, but I saw on YouTube
Yes.
somebody actually
did.
explained how all three movies tied together.
Yeah. Derek, you've seen it, right?
I have seen it.
Yeah. What'd you think about it?
It was great. Like McShaft there said, it does tie into multiple movies.
Mm-hmm.
10 Cloverfield Lane, no, I've not seen, but I've definitely seen Cloverfield, the first one. But basically, Cloverfield paradox essentially is a theory where a particle accelerator or a fusion drive to solve the world's energy crisis that's going on currently in this time period.
Mm-hmm.
They go to space to use this machine so that way it doesn't like nuke the world or black hole or crazy stuff, or also shift the planet, or basically essentially move the planet into a new universe or a new dimension. Essentially,
Okay.
is what could happen.
Yeah.
And I guess
it does.
That
But,
is that how we get the monster from the first one, then, I guess?
Well,
Yes, that's basically how it happens because they ripped, space.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, they rip time and space and explains the monsters and explains the spoiler alert. Sorry, man. 10 Cloverfield Lane, the aliens that you see in that one.
Well, they weren't aliens. They were like zombies.
No, they weren't.
They
10
were like
Cloverfield
zombies.
Lane. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Am I thinking the wrong
No,
movie here?
yeah,
I
you're
thought they were
thinking the wrong movie,
zombies.
man. You and zombies. You got zombies on the brain, man. He does, man.
there's some indestructible creatures or some kind.
You only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
I only had to, man. I had to. Yeah. 10 Cloverfield Lane. Talk about the paradox here, man. If you think about this, how the first movie, the second movie, supposedly fit in that same timeline. I mean, it's timeline, different place. And then the third one tying into how everything happened with the first two and stuff. There's so many videos. There's so many stuff going on YouTube talking about how many theories about how all of them are all connected, how they're connected with this and that, with the virtual marketing online and stuff. Especially with the first movie with the fake news reports. I don't know if you all caught that.
That's been years since I've seen that.
Remember
Crisis actors.
Yes, crisis actors.
Damn
But-
crisis actors
Definitely.
getting Facebook posts banned.
yeah. Hey, since it's brought up, McShaft, Derek, check this out. He got his post banned because of character actors with stuff going on in the news and what's going on in the country and stuff. What do you think about that, man? His post getting pulled off because basically he was caught. They were caught with character actors. Ain't that crazy?
So his post was taken down because it involved crisis actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an actual true thing that was happening.
So what happened was
Yeah.
I found this post from from these people, and it basically had photos of like this particular crisis actor from a previous casualty event.
Last year, in April or May. I saw
And then it had him
yesterday.
again from last week, and it pretty much they knew the guy's name and everything else. And I guess he had been in a few more too before that.
Yeah.
And so, I just did the thing. Okay, I'm just gonna, retweet it out or, repost it out for everyone to see, just to kind of make things more aware. Next thing you know, it's like 3 days later, boom, gone, disappeared.
What, they remove it? Did they tell
Yep.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they removed it because ain't that messed up? The same thing happened. All right, the same thing happened with the Colorado theater shooting. Remember Batman: The Dark Knight Rises? Remember the theater shooting in Colorado with that? Remember what happened? there was a crisis actor on that, which was made on another crisis. Okay, so during the trial with the guy who shot up the theater, she was in with him, sitting in the court as
No.
Yeah.
The crisis actor was filmed in front of the theater. I think like acting like they were a part of it or something like that. And then they were shown again a week later at some kind of protest.
Yeah, that's
I think, or something like that. And they were like on film or on photo right there.
Yeah.
In like completely separate states and all kind of stuff like that. I think that's what it is or something like that.
Yeah,
You can go on like YouTube and look it up.
Ain't that crazy? That is.
It is crazy. I would like to know, like, is it true? Because I decided not to post anything. I thought because the source may not have been credible. If it is true, then that also is supposedly the FBI's son also going around as the supposed crisis actor.
Oh, really?
But you also need to watch out. It's more important that we need to not get lost and lose sight of this as well. Is there's 13 Russians indicted for the tampering of our last election. And not only that, it was using false media to influence the votes of others and essentially affect certain campaigns. Now, this could be something similar, just to create mass hysteria, and also allowing emotion to dictate a more philosophical and statistical argument that we need to be thinking of when it comes to gun control and stuff like that.
See, my whole point,
it's
of
crazy,
posting
man.
that wasn't to really like distract people from the issues. It was basically just to alert people, hey, the news is pretty much using like, fake people for their stories instead of actually interviewing like the real people that were involved, in certain instances. And the fact is that they're essentially trying to create quote unquote fake news, which is the new, thing now that people use.
It's messed up. It is. That's a paradox within itself there, man, of like conspiracies and just, everything that goes on with that. Hell, like with...
it'd be the same thing as
as
if they took like one of their other news anchors and put a wig on them and had them stand in front of the camera and pretend like they were part of this event,
Definitely a wag the dog there, man.
That's why I don't really watch the news anymore.
But, with the
I'm too
Cloverfield
concerned
paradox,
about.
It's like this. It's like with the everything, how the universe and everything's connected with the paradox and stuff. It's so many conspiracy theories, so many theories on this and that. One theory they mentioned, they said each movie happened in an alternate universe and an alternate timeline. Can you guys believe that? If the first three movies were all in alternate timelines because of the particle accelerator? What do you think about that?
Yeah, because, if you had some, 1,000-foot monster like Godzilla destroying the city, you think you would have heard about it in the other two movies, or it would have, taken over the world or something.
Yeah. What do you guys think, Chris?
In the first one, Cloverfield, it takes place in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't seem like it was in the future or there was such a energy crisis going on at the time. Whereas 10 Cloverfield Lane would have, I haven't seen it, so I know it's more of the aftermath.
Well,
and then you have the newest one, Cloverfield Paradox there.
See, not to spoil anything for you, but Cloverfield Lane really happens mostly underground in some kind of backwoods farm town,
Yeah, around Missouri or someplace like that out west. But it was so good. John Goodman, oh God, man, John Goodman did a terrific job being this person, whoever the person he was. But he did a good job, man.
Yeah.
He did an excellent job. It was great. I enjoyed it. I can watch it again. Actually, I watched it the other day. I tweeted out, messaged you guys.
Yeah.
You were like, hey, what y'all doing? I'm sitting there. My daughter's asleep on me. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm watching 10 Cloverfield Lane. I haven't seen it. The only time I got to see it was in the theater when it first came out. I never did get to watch it.
I don't remember what I was
laid
doing.
down, enjoyed it, and watched it. Thought it was excellent. Again, second time around. But what What do y'all think about the Venom trailer, man, that was teased last couple weeks? A lot of people say you still haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, let me just mention, did you see it, Derek?
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
What'd you think? All right. They didn't show, was it a bold move? Sony did not show Venom right off the bat. They didn't lay all their cards out.
Yeah. I think it was good.
You think it's a good move?
Good.
Yeah.
But you have Ed Hardy, right? Don't you have
Tom Hardy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Tom Hardy.
Tom.
Now, let me just say this. Tom Hardy looks more like an Eddie Brock than Topher Grace.
I wish we had Ed Hardy in the movie with like his t-shirts and stuff, just walking around. Hey, yo, you want me to say this t-shirt with the skull and dagger on it? I put a snake on it for you for an extra $5. Oh shit, I got this black stuff on me. Look at that. Ed Hardy Venom. Boom. Bedazzled.
Yeah, Tom Hardy looks more like an Eddie Brock from the comics, because Eddie Brock in the comics, the Marvel Comics, Spider-Man, he was more of a built kind of bulk, stalky person.
Yeah, like he was type of brute guy.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't a Topher Grace where he was tall and skinny.
Right.
You know, nothing like that though. But I guess with that version, with that Venom, they were trying to stick more of what Tobey Maguire was like, making it like in his equal.
No,
but it wasn't.
My whole question is, are they going to have the Spider-Man in this movie make an appearance?
No, they're not. Sony's doing this.
So Venom's going to be essentially the good guy.
Anti-hero.
Well, think of it this way. This is Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Yeah. It's like this too. You see Sony?
You got people. You got some bad guys trying to do good deeds essentially, and you have Venom that's going to be used to do good works. But really, there's more to the story than that. Venom is like it wants Spider-Man. You know this in the history of the comic books. Like it's like Spider-Man's Venom's drug.
Right. And the one thing is Sony's going to lose the rights here pretty soon. So their whole point is we better milk and get something out of this before we lose the rights. Because as soon as they lose the rights, I could see Fox and Disney and the Marvel Universe, them coming straight back over to that right now.
Right.
Yeah.
That is true. I could see that, but I don't know where Venom would fit in their Marvel Universe.
Right. I don't know.
I mean, unless they're going to put him in the next like Spider-Man movie or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do something like that. Like, for instance, how they did with the Civil War, with Captain America. They, took all these other, side characters and put them in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering about that. I'm wondering what they're gonna do and who the villain's gonna be. I think the government may be
the government. It's always the government. It's always the government.
Yeah, it may be the.
It'll be like Deadpool. You have some like random human guy that's like the villain. He's trying to come after the whole movie and finally gets his hand on him. It's gonna be some sort of like army or militia. Same stuff. It's like that. Like Logan, Wolverine.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that it's possibly, it's going to be the government trying to catch this, try to stop it. That's what I think.
It's like Eddie Brock posted about the crisis actors that's paying him. Oh, my suit. I'm going to be Venom now. I'm going to come after the government. It's like, why aren't they making a movie about Anonymous coming after the government? Make it more real.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Speaking of the government, I was watching this video today. It was like the top 10 like kids shows that had underlining like depressing endings to the shows. Like, everyone remember that movie the show back in the day, Dinosaurs, about the family of the dinosaurs, and how like on the last episode, like they pretty much like killed them off, but didn't really say it.
Right.
Well, they had one on Alf. If I remember, it was Alf. Back in the day, The last episode was where he got contact from like his family and tried to meet him up, and the government came, kind of like E.T. kind of, and the spaceship got scared, took off. So pretty much the whole series of Alf ended with the like FBI or the government surrounding him and pretty much taking him away, and like that was the end of the whole series. So you can pretty much assume they took him and like tortured him and stuff, and dissected him, which is a pretty gruesome ending to a kids show. But I feel that's how Venom's gonna be. They probably have 2 movies, and the second one they end up capturing him and just taking him away, and that'll be the end of it. It's always the government. He's always the bad guy.
It is. It always
the
is.
bad guy.
Always
the
a
government.
conspiracy theory, man. Always.
The government done took my baby.
I mean, how do you guys feel about that? Them not showing Chris? Would you have been happy if they showed Venom right off the hand, and you're like, okay, this is what I got to look forward to, or just tease a little bit and not pull the cat out of the bag completely?
Well, from my wrestling perspective, I like a build-up. So I like them to start out. You don't even have to show me. Just give me something that gives me some type of thought as to what you're doing. And then build it from there. Because everything starts out with a teaser trailer. Then you have official trailer 1, official trailer 2, official trailer 3, press release trailer, the pre-show trailer, hey, it's about to show in 5 minutes trailer.
Those are my favorite.
Over the course of those, you get a build-up and a good sense of what you're getting into.
Chris, the only thing I'm afraid of is the reason they didn't show Venom is because it's going to be horrible, and they don't want to turn everyone off from the movie just because of the trailer. That's my only fear.
Like the boogeyman.
Yeah, that's my only fear right there. You get into the movie and you finally see Venom, and you're just so disappointed. It's like, that's why they didn't show him in the trailer. Or it could be like Power Rangers, where like 3/4 of the movie you didn't see any of them until the last like 15 minutes. And then you're just like, what the fuck is that?
Oh my God.
Here's Johnny.
That's crazy. That's messed up, man.
I'm telling you.
Hey,
you know what?
But
Hollywood has a history for disappointment. I'll just say that.
Now we're gonna end this part right here. We're gonna
sing the Frozen theme song.
No.
Do you want to build a snow dish?
Now, what y'all think about the Deadpool trailer? They showed Cable.
Good.
Amazing.
It's going to be great. And I'm glad that Fox and Disney is basically, well, not Fox now because they don't own the rights to it anymore.
The mouse owns everything.
Disney, yeah, the mouse is letting Deadpool be Deadpool,
God.
Which is neat. But you know what? I do not expect to see Deadpool running around Disneyland giving out cotton candy to kids and jumping in the parade.
You know he will. You know they're going to have a G-rated Deadpool around Disney.
Dude. All right, listen to this. I could say this now. I could say this now because this person's so out of touch with everything going on. Listen,
bro.
Listen. Let's
hear it.
Listen. Okay.
Let's hear it.
There's this girl
that
works with my wife, okay? She does not like The Walking Dead because it's too violent, but she loves Deadpool. She came to work where my wife is, and she said, "Hey, check out my new hoodie." And she zipped it all up, and it zips all the way up, looks like Deadpool. And I was like, "Oh, cool." It was right around when the first movie first came out.
Yep.
I said, "Oh, pretty cool, huh? You like Deadpool? That movie was awesome, wasn't it?" She goes, "I don't like that Deadpool." I said, "What? I don't like that Deadpool. What? I only like G-rated Deadpool. What the? Hit this damn censor button. Hit the damn censor. Here we go. I'm going to mute my mic. What the is that? There. No one heard me. Really? Tell me, what the hell's G-rated Deadpool?
What is a G-rated Deadpool?
What is G-rated Deadpool?
What
Guys,
is a Power Ranger?
Tell me. Am I missing something? Chris, Derek, what the hell's a G-rated Deadpool?
I mean,
exactly.
Beats me.
Oh man.
A bag of.
Damn!
What the hell is a G? There's no.
The next
G-rated
part of the
Deadpool.
EOS is brought to you by Surge Soda, a product of the Coca-Cola Company, back on shelves from being absent the past 30 years. There you go.
I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to wrap my head around it. I'm going to move on. Okay? I'm definitely going to move on from that. Now, all I got to say is that
G-rated Deadpool.
What? Do we have a random Reddit thread?
Uh-huh.
We do, don't we?
I have used my many McShaft resources, talked to a lot of McShaft fans, and have gathered a lot of McShaft information to come up with this week's random Reddit threads.
Random Reddit thread.
Random Reddit thread, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by the Podcast City Network. You can check out all these shows of Everett Lee Show, ELS, The Grim Black Show, Chris Carnage Show, Forking Around with Cody, Imaginarium, the Super Radio Brothers, all on the Podcast City Network. Head over to podcastcity.net and check out the latest episodes available. Take it away, McShaft.
All right, so we got some good random Reddit threads here for our live podcast this evening.
And I have no idea, guys. I'm going to let you know ahead of time. I have no idea what is he going to be talking about. So he surprises me each week with this, so be surprised.
Okay, so our first random Reddit thread here, this states, a black bear can smell 7 times better than a bloodhound and 100 times better than a human.
Damn!
So if you ever want to know if a bear really does shit in the woods, have it go around smelling, because it can smell it probably from a mile away. Here's an interesting fact for you.
Wow.
A single strand of spaghetti is called a spaghetto.
What?
A spaghetto. A single strand of spaghetti is called a spaghetto. Think about that.
Oh, man.
The Icelandic word for sleep is sofa.
The Icelandic word for sleep is sofa.
Yeah, so in Iceland, if they want to say I want to go to sleep, they're like blah 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 sofa. However they say it. You like that?
Yes, I like that.
So with us talking about sci-fi here, 1 day on Venus is equal to 243 days on Earth.
Wow.
Yeah, think about that, huh?
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Of the 6 tiger subspecies on Earth, 3 are critically endangered and the other 3 are endangered. So if you think about it, we're pretty much fixing to wipe out tigers. It sucks. I got to hold one once. Police in India get paid for having mustaches.
What do you guys think about this, man? Huh?
Just wow.
Just wow.
And the last one here tonight, the builders of the pyramids, not the Jewish slaves, but the Egyptians who were paid to help build the pyramids, they were actually paid in beer, not money.
No way.
Paid in beer.
Oh, man. Wow.
And that concludes tonight's random Reddit thread.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all brought to you by the Podcast City Network. So head over to podcastcity.net and you can check out a lot of programming, a lot of podcasts. You can hit Podcast City Network up on facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit that like button and hit that follow notification button. Also, send a tweet to Podcast City over on Twitter at Podcast City Net. Well, you know what? Actually, I should just mention and go ahead and just say this. We should just let the Podcast City Network explain itself. Chris, I'm going to play that video and play that advertisement right there I was telling you about. Remember?
Vaguely, but let's do it.
All right, here we go. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey fans, you're listening to the Chris Carnage Show.
So, right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the intro for the Chris Carnage Show. Chris, what can you tell us about the Chris Carnage Show? What people will...
Oh, man.
Yes.
there's a lot of excitement, a lot of great things, so many interviews that are going to be lined up over the course of the next few episodes. We're going to be kicking off. I'll go ahead and give a little bit of hint. One of my guests on tomorrow's show just happens to get a little heavy within the 7 kingdoms.
Ooh.
So make sure that you join us tomorrow for that. That's going to be amazing. We're also going to be covering a lot of sports, a lot of NFL talk. We're going to be recapping the NFL season and the historic and epic win of the Philadelphia Eagles over the New England Patriots. And then we're going to cover a little bit of other sports and things going on in the NBA. And things that do with that. But you know what? Chris Carnage is a loose cannon. So you just have to watch to see everything I talk about.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
Should we start up a new hashtag so everyone can go on the New England Patriots Facebook page and hashtag not my football team? You like that?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We're gonna start a little controversy here.
Yeah. That's crazy.
We like controversial things here.
I don't mind it though, but I'll tell you what's controversy right now is the world of wrestling.
Oh, you see a World of Warcraft. I'm like, why? What happened now? What sub-animal human species did they add to that game?
But before I get to that,
Yeah?
Chris, his show is coming out. Derek, the Grimlock Show. Tell viewers right now and listeners what they should expect from the Grimlock Show.
What they should expect is good content related to relevant issues that we need to address. Like, for example, let's say the gun control issue. I know, right? I mean, thoughts and prayers. Everybody wants to make fun of that. What does that do? But the biggest problem with that is it's playing on emotion, not logic, as far as the statistics and stats. You like bringing up all these other countries, for example, when it comes to that, emotion to cloud your judgment, saying, oh, look at Australia. If you look at Australia, they only have a population of 25 million. Not a whole lot. So there's a post that I saw a lot of great facts, but if you take from the states that have the least amount of homicides, and then you work your way up to the amount of actual, to the population amount, right, that matches Australia, so now you're getting the density, correct? They average 1 homicide per year in Australia, whereas it's only 1.6 here in the States, based off of the population density of the statistics. So those are the things that you're going to hear on our show. That's just a little taste.
No.
Wow.
What do they consider the point?
Awesome.
What do they consider the 0.6? Is that like when like a smaller person dies?
Yeah. Math, right?
I mean, we just discovered that 0.6 of this person just got homicide the other day. It's like, what?
Wow.
0.6.
But that's what we'll expect with the Grimlock Show, which is going to be awesome. And it's brought to you by the Podcast City Network. You see, we're going to have a lot of good shows on the Podcast City Network. I love this, man. We got Chris Carnage with his show. We got your show, Forking Around with Cody.
Yep.
We got the Grimlock Show with Derek. We got my show, Everett.Lee'Show. We got the Imaginarium, Super Radio Brothers, ELS Uncut, Films and Classic. We got so much content. My head's going to explode talking about it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, well, right. If it does explode, then let me have your face so I can pretend I'm you. Can be like on that Game of Thrones show, where they took like their faces and like became the person. Like, ELS's head just exploded here on air. Wait, hold on a second. Here we go. Put his face on. It's like, okay, hi everybody. I'm Everett Lee here in the Everett Lee Show. Sorry about my head exploding there for a minute. Oh my God. I could do that.
This is a force to be reckoned with.
It's like, let me have your face.
All right, let me move.
Chris, what's McShaft doing? Oh, he's collecting faces to be an assassin now, like Game of Thrones. The co-host with no face. The League of Extraordinary Faces.
Guys, you see what I gotta put up with right next to me? At least he's arms length. like that.
Oh, that was cool. The way he, like did like the camera. He's reaching through the cameras. Oh, hey, if you notice, like your hand goes from like smaller to like a bigger hand over here. Like, watch, do it again. Like it's like, oh, it's a bigger hand.
That's my pimp hand, woman.
Keep that pimp hand strong, baby. Don't make your head explode. Could you imagine that? It's like, hey, I need to write this down in my will. If my face explodes, make sure he doesn't get my face. Yell to his wife, hey, Amanda, if my head explodes here, just make sure Cody doesn't grab my face. He's trying to become me. Yeah, take my credit card.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm about to die over here, guys.
See that? Oh, man.
All right, let me get to the next segment.
Be like
before I
Altered
do
Carbon.
die.
Make sure you put your soul in another microchip just in case. You'll wake it up by accident. We'll have like two Everett Lees walking around here. It's like, I'm Everett Lee. This is my clone, Everett Lee.
Well, just to say, that's double stacking.
Whoa! Woo!
God, I have to play this.
Real.
Oh my God, what the f*** is that?
Oh, man. Tower of Doom. Isn't that what they call it? The Tower of Doom? Oh, my God.
Let's jump into this next segment here. This is the in-ring report, ladies and gentlemen.
This episode is brought to you by Brazzers.
Oh my God.
Oh, my God.
Chris, what's our new unofficial saying here for the show?
Which one?
The shorter one, not
Oh, my God.
the real one. Go. Real? What was it?
Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the in-ring report.
Wait, did you say this is the joke? Is that what you said?
No, I didn't.
He's like, oh, this is the joke. Hey, we're in the in-ring report. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Huh?
Right after the in-ring report. Yes. Yes.
Huh?
We have to talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
Chris Cartage brought something to my attention, which we talked about tonight, and we will talk about right after we get through the in-ring report, because it's big. This is big. This is really, very big. Okay.
So big, you're going to have to bite down on a blanket.
Yes. I'm excited about this. I got a hard-on for it.
Whoa! Jesus. I'm sitting within like a foot of this guy here. Hold on, let me just slide my chair over here. Is that what was touching my leg earlier?
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
This is for you, McShaft.
What is it?
Go back to sleep, Jimmy.
What's going on, Aunt Diane?
You're getting your sucked, kid.
Oh, my God. Oh. I thought we were talking about wrestling here, like WWE wrestling, not the other kind of wrestling. I know, right? Tower of Doom here.
Mail, mother.
Got mail.
All right. Guys, did you watch Monday Night Raw? Tell me.
Was I Raw on Monday night? Is that what you said?
This Monday Night Raw was different from any Monday Night Raw because it was straight 3 hours wrestling. The first 2 hours was wrestling.
So they didn't show Roman Reigns this episode or John Cena.
Roman Reigns you did see during the first part of...
Well, then it wasn't really.
You saw Roman Reigns for 20 minutes. That's it. 20 minutes.
Should have been more like 2
That's
minutes.
20 minutes too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, he was there too long when we walked in the building, so that probably took another like 30 to 40.
Yeah.
Did we get to see Sasha Banks' receding hairline?
Oh, my
Her
God.
forehead?
Well, all I got to say is that Monday Night Raw was pretty good. The first 2 hours was the build-up for the advertisement for the Gauntlet match, which will be happening this Sunday at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. The one thing about this is that what I liked was, with it being the first 2 hours just wrestling, Roman Reigns did come out in the ring, cut a promo, then it went into wrestling. Seth Rollins, did you know this, guys? Seth Rollins actually broke a record in the 25 years of Monday Night Raw. He did.
He used a shake weight?
He had a match longer than
the shake weight.
Oh, my goodness. He ended up lasting longer than Triple H and Chris Benoit did back in the day during their Iron Man match during Monday Night Raw. Yeah. It was freaking great, man. It was. So Seth Rollins was in the ring an hour and 5 minutes longer than what Triple H and Chris Benoit was back during their Iron Man match during Monday Night Raw. A lot of people said this was good because it was just straight wrestling all the way through with, what was it, Chris? 4 segments?
4 total segments.
4 segments in a 3-hour show. Wow.
2 matches, 2 other segments, but 4 total.
Yeah. Straight wrestling. This show was...
3 matches.
Yes, 3 matches. We had the Gauntlet match, we had the women's match, and we had the tag match. That was it.
Right.
That was it. With the 4 segments. A lot of people praised this and said, you know what, this is great. Because it was straight up wrestling. It was. As soon as the show started, Roman Reigns came in there, boo, 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 boo. Ding, ding, ding. There we go. Wrestling. 2 hours. Okay? A lot of people loved it. A lot of people didn't like it because we wanted our storylines. Well, you know what? It's good just to have a straight damn wrestling show and just enjoy it. And one of the factors in that would have to be because Vince McMahon wasn't over on the West Coast because it was reported, I think it was last year, Vince McMahon does not like traveling over to the West Coast. He likes sticking to the East Coast for a lot of the shows. So, there you go. That's one of the factors. Anything else anyone heard about with the factors on why Raw was just a wrestling show, which was awesome, I think.
No, but I did hear some Hall of Fame rumors.
Yes, which we will get to.
Yeah, but
yes.
I didn't really hear much as far as any kind of like backstage Raw stuff.
Yeah, Raw was just a good straight. Tell me, guys, would you just rather watch the beginning of a show from beginning to end, just wrestling?
I do all the time when I watch Ring of Honor and everything else.
But it was at night. It was nice to see actually WWE do it once.
Yeah, I think though, like if you remember back in the Attitude Era, I mean,
yes,
they had a good thing going on where you essentially started the show out, and it wasn't like a half an hour, 45-minute segment. It was basically like 10 maybe 15 minutes. Just to kind of set up the main event real quick, or whatever. 10 minutes, maybe 15 max, but 10 minutes. And then next thing you know, boom, wrestling for most of the show. Maybe a few backstage segments here and there that lasted maybe, a couple minutes. But it was majority wrestling.
Yeah. What I liked about this is that it was just straight wrestling, and that's all we got. I loved it. I had no problem with just having a straight wrestling show. I enjoyed the hell out of that. How'd you feel, Chris?
Honestly, it's pretty refreshing for them to kind of return back to the old days where things were a lot more wrestling oriented. However, you still did it mainly by just having a huge gauntlet match with Braun Strowman. So, at the end of the day, I like that they did that, but at the same time, I feel there's I just hope they keep this kind of thing going. Don't make it all about just this one match. I took up most of the damn night, but try and keep this going where you make things more wrestling oriented rather than being a superstar.
Right. And that's why I've been turning more to like the indies and stuff, because they don't put a ton of effort into having a huge glamorous entrance or promos or storylines. They pretty much go out there and they put all their emotion into the wrestling.
Yeah. Now.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It was great just seeing a wrestling show. I know WWE throws those out there every once in a while. It's just straight up wrestling. You don't see it often as you do nowadays, with everything going on. However, SmackDown was a different flavor this week, or was it the same flavor that we've been seeing every week? I want to throw this out there. Why the hell do we have Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler involved in a match with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and AJ Styles having their feud? They get thrown in there.
It's because Baron Corbin's receding hairline is the ultimate heel character. Exactly.
Damn.
He should have been in that movie Barbershop with Ice Cube. A movie about hair from people that have no hair. I think that either his hairline is going to be more over than Rusev, or it's going to be more of a heel character than Roman Reigns. I haven't decided yet. They could go either way with it.
Oh my God. Ziggler leaves for 7 weeks and he just shows back up.
That was their whole point.
No explanation.
Right.
No explanation. No nothing. Corey Graves on commentary. Oh yeah, he needed to
Corey
sit
Graves.
back and rewind, relax and stuff.
They still have that guy employed there?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, he does SmackDown and Raw.
Oh God.
Now, I just
there's your first two problems right there and why the product's been going down. Corey Graves.
No, Road Dogg is doing the creative behind SmackDown.
No, I'm talking about this in general. Corey Graves.
The announcers now.
I thought
recently,
Booker T was bad on announcing, but Corey Graves, holy crap.
I like Booker.
Give him to be a heel manager or something.
He's supposed to be a heel announcer. Chris, is Corey Graves supposed to be a heel announcer, right?
Corey Graves is a heel announcer at the end of the day. He's supposed to be that counter character to everything that's going on, but
Jerry Lawler. But Jerry the King.
And what they've been able to have, like Michael Cole and vintage this and by God that.
Mm-hmm.
So
barbecue sauce.
And he's not someone that necessarily drags the product down like they've had with certain other announcers. However, they've had better announcers than him as well, or commentators, I should say, than him as well that have been let go because of other issues. Thanks, JBL. But things work out the way they work.
Bring back Joey Styles and his "Oh my God."
Well, here's the thing. Okay. All right.
Joey Styles, Hall of Fame 2019.
Corey Graves, it's like sometimes I don't know if he's heel or if he's face, heel, face, heel, face. I mean, come on. Sometimes. You know what I think it is, too? I think he has so many people that is yelling in his headset, telling him 100 different things at one time. So he tries to do the best he can. And 2, he knows that I have a family, I have a kid, so I'm going to just do this and just enjoy it because I'm supporting my family. And that's it. I'm comfortable. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to enjoy a paycheck. And that's just the bottom line. That's how it is. He was more edgy as an announcer in NXT. He was. He brought a little bit of that when he came up to the main roster. However, he did lose that edge and felt more comfortable in that spot to where he didn't need to be like he was being aggressive and trying to fight for a spot when he was in NXT.
Why should we have to accept the mediocre announcer, though?
Well,
why is being mediocre acceptable?
Well, that's just how it is. There's no place. Okay, there's no place for talent to go nowadays. There's
plenty of places for talent to go.
Well,
what are you talking about?
I'm trying to get to a point. According to the talent in WWE, that's it. There's no other place to go, which there is.
Who says that?
Look at Cody Rhodes.
Cody
Rhodes and everybody else on the indies.
Who said there's nowhere else to go?
A lot of the people.
Who?
I've heard a lot of stuff saying there's no other place to go to make that type of money, what they're making.
There's plenty of places to go.
That's the whole point.
See, the problem is that they want to stay mediocre and just collect a paycheck instead of trying to improve themselves. If you look at, for example, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. If you look at somebody like Juice Robinson, or if you look at somebody like, I'll take an example, who's a good one here? Drew McIntyre, which, I'm not the biggest fan, but I'll use an example, okay?
Yeah, he's a good example.
Oh, there's nowhere else to go. But yet there is, okay? Instead of being the simple mediocre wrestler that he was, he improved, which is possible, and came back. So there's places to go. The problem is that you're not going to make the money you make in WWE if you don't try to improve yourself. So what's going to happen is most of these guys are going to end up getting the axe, going out to the indies where there's quote unquote no place else to go, and try to just piggyback on the whole, oh, I'm a former WWE guy, keep my mediocre wrestling, and then I'm like, oh, I ain't making no money.
Well, yeah. Well, that's... Chris, what do you think? What do you think?
Honestly, there isn't a whole lot of money-wise. I can see what you're saying, where if you're going to try and make money, WWE is where it's at. If you're willing to put up with the 300 days on the road, the ridiculous amount of matches that you have to wrestle, and all that jazz with perks and all your different publicity, appearances for sponsors and initiatives and this and that, that's all great. However, if you want to work in the industry and still be able to work against some of the best talent in the world and be able to still make a good living at it, there are options. And I'm not saying go run a TNA. I'm saying New Japan Pro Wrestling is one of the biggest growing promotions in the world. Then you still have ROH that is doing huge things itself. There are other promotions out there that will pay you. As long as you have the talent and the following, they will pay you.
Well, and a perfect example.
Be able to foster.
Yeah.
A perfect example is Joey Ryan, okay? So he pretty much, it was reported he just bought like a $500,000 house, okay? 2-bedroom, 1-bath in California. $500,000 house, okay?
Definitely.
And what has he been doing? Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, okay? Lucha Underground, some New Japan, I believe, and some other indie stuff like Progress and Chikara and things like that. So it's like he improved his skill set. He worked these other promotions, okay? And he improved his skills to where people are willing to pay him a good amount of money, to have him on their shows and wrestle. So as long as you're continuing to improve your wrestling ability and your character, you can make, good money. Yeah, you're not going to be like Dolph Ziggler, who just signed for like a $1.5 million, contract a year. But, I mean, if you keep, I would say, improving your talent and your characters, you can make, 6 figures a year doing promotions like Lucha Underground, Ring of Honor, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Progress, Chikara Pro, all this other kind of stuff. You can make money doing these. I mean, look at the Young Bucks, for example. Before, they literally travel just as much as WWE. They work between, 3 promotions, 4 promotions, and they're making just as much as, some of your top guys in WWE are. So, it is possible.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
But the problem is that everyone wants to piggyback off the whole, oh, I'm a former WWE guy, or I'm just going to go out there and not try to improve myself and expect a large paycheck.
I mean, you see some point that, Chris. You get McShat. I get his point. I do. I get his point. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, they think WWE is the only place to go, but a lot of people have proved that WWE is not the only place to go to make a name for yourself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, the business has changed. The business has definitely changed.
Now, should we move her into the more exciting segment, wrestling here with the New Japan and Ring of Honor area?
Well, what have you guys... Now,
maybe.
Before we do, Chris broke this to us. What is it, a couple days ago? You broke this to us about this news about this person who's been named in the Hall of Fame
inductee.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Who is it? Let me hit the music for it. Chris, you announced this, and I'll hit the music. All right, this year's WWE Hall of Fame 2018 inductee. The latest one is
the one and only, listen up, slap nuts, Jeff Jarrett.
Hell yeah. Listen up, slap nuts.
I had a feeling a couple months ago when they announced that he was going to WWE-sponsored rehab that something was going to go on.
What now? Tell me, guys.
Tell me.
What's the hell's been going on with Double J? What the hell's been going on with him?
What do you mean?
I mean, he was in TNA. He walked away from TNA.
Well,
right?
yeah. Well, he came back.
Mm-hmm.
They got bought out by that Canadian promotion.
Sports Anthem?
Yeah. And all of a sudden, they had some big fallout. Jarrett, walked out of the company and then showed up to some indie show shit-faced drunk and then went in the rehab.
That's what happened with Jeff Jarrett. I didn't know the whole story. Did you? What you hear anything too, Chris?
I didn't hear a lot of how to pull this off, but I know with him being able to cut full ties with TNA, kind of opened the door for all this to happen.
He did, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Now, they are reporting that, for instance, Triple H is the guy that actually made this whole Hall of Fame thing happen. And AJ Styles and Bobby Roode and Eric Young actually really pushed for the meeting and stuff with Jarrett and Triple H and to push them into coming into the Hall of Fame.
Hey, have you heard about? There's not that many quotes from Jeff Jarrett, is there?
No, he's keeping
Not
kind of
yet, no.
quiet.
I mean, just saying in general, there's not that many quotes
No.
from Mr. Double J.
They're pretty much playing on his past characters from WWE right now.
Yeah.
Nothing current or from the Impact days.
Yeah, no, I mean nothing, like that. But you know what? You know what's crazy? I mean, if you think about it, Jeff
Guitar
Jarrett,
shots.
the guitar, yes, the
Guitar
guitar
shots
shot.
everywhere.
Look at this right here. Jeff Jarrett's greatest hits.
Well, the other thing too
Here,
is
listen to this
you
guy.
notice in all the video packages, they're not showing any of his his later WCW stuff. It's only just his first time jumping shit with WCW.
Watch. Here he goes. Oh, Rey Mysterio. I feel so bad for him, man.
He's the one that jumped off the ropes.
I know. Hey, what's your guys' take on Jeff Jarrett? I always thought Jeff Jarrett was freaking great, man. When later on after, I hate to say this, when him and Owen were tag team champions, that was great. It was after Owen passed away, and Jarrett was on his own there for a while. Remember when he was feuding with China?
Yeah.
Remember what was the match they had, Chris?
The Good Housekeeping match.
The Good Housekeeping match. His argument was, he said, I don't want to upset anyone, but he said a woman should be in the kitchen and stuff. Good housekeeping. Oh my God! China actually won the Intercontinental title, and then the next night on WCW Nitro, Jarrett comes running out and freaking smashes someone over the head with the guitar, and the famous quote, "Don't piss me off, slap nuts."
I remember that.
Damn.
I wanted to get one of his shirts too, and I can never get one.
I know. It's great. You guys, I'm excited about it. I know you all are excited about it too. It's great that, like you mentioned, Triple H brought this together, right?
Yeah.
That he did.
He did. Awesome.
Well, don't forget too,
Now,
he's also good friends with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall too.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's friends with a lot of people in the business.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time, before he came back.
It was
Realistically.
Yeah. I didn't expect I would hear about it.
Next, we just need CM Punk back here.
Well, you know what? It may be 50 years from now, but eventually one day he'll come back. We don't know.
Still
not my lifetime.
He's still teasing that he might show up at that All In event with the Bullet Club. So
He could.
We'll see.
He could. Now, it was reported a while back ago that Triple H has taken more of a creative control with shows such as 205 Live. Vince McMahon has washed his hands clean of it and says, "Here, take it."
I don't understand cruiserweights. Ted Turner. Stuff like that.
I know. It's just this crazy. I know. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What?
Oh, we're going to get to it. We're
Thank
going to
you
get
what?
to it. Yes, we're going to get to it. Oh, yes, we
What'd you
are.
do?
Ooh, I still have the heart on for it.
What? Ew. Damn. Wow. Chris, it's a good thing you're not sitting next to him over here.
And again, I got to play this for you.
Chris, this is just for you.
Go back to sleep, Jimmy.
What's going on, Aunt Diane?
You're getting your sucked, kid.
Denver's on a roll tonight.
Oh, yes, I am. I'm on a roll. I'm so happy, man. I have not been this much so... I've been happy in my life, but I have not been this exciting and happy in my life in a very, very long time because things have come full circle around. And I'll tell you what, brother, everything is happening because the American dream for Everett Lee is coming true, brother.
Oh.
Now...
Oh, you gonna start bionic elbowing stuff here in a minute? Like if you hear the dog scream, it's like different. You just bionic elbowed your dog. The baby comes walking in here, boom, bionic elbow. I'm the son of a plumber. I tell you what, like you can't bionic elbow your kid to sleep.
Why not?
Why not? Chris, are you not telling us something here? Are you not telling us something here?
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, man.
So our next segment.
Yes, Triple H.
Oh, Ring of no, we're talking about Ring of Honor.
Segment, Chris.
Ring of Honor.
Well, actually, wait. Our next segment, Chris brought up is how to bionic elbow your kid to sleep.
God.
Snap.
Woo.
Oh my God. Now I want to throw this out there. We're gonna get to Ring of Honor here just a minute. This is the last WWE thing. Triple H taking more creative control backstage. What do you think, guys? What do you think?
I mean, if this is as good as NXT. I mean, why not?
Yeah. He's taking a lot of good creative control. I mean, your thoughts?
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
At the end of the day, with Vince McMahon's going to be taking time away and being able to go and do things with the XFL, hopefully that opens the door for Triple H to muscle his way in to get more control of what actually is going on.
Yeah.
And because he, at the end of the day, has been able, like Shaf said, that NXT became its own force under his tutelage. So if he takes control of Raw and SmackDown, just imagine really what could happen. Imagine who you're going to see push. Imagine what kind of angles you're going to get. You know, I feel like with him taking over, he understands what the modern day wrestling fan needs.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be great because of what he is. He understands the business, unlike how Vince McMahon is stuck in a time period of
Stuck in a
1980s.
time period.
Yeah, the 1980s.
1980s. Woo.
We have Triple H who's up to par and knows everything and who is everybody and anybody right now in the world of wrestling.
Triple H,
he wants that person. He's going to go after him. He's going to
Yeah.
lure him in and use them for
The
the
game.
product to make the product better, help the individual, and help create a cash flow in.
Ooh, yeah.
So he understands that. Oh yeah, baby.
Ooh, yeah.
But
Triple H
dual brand
taking
pay-per-views, which is coming in 2018. We're going to see the last of the single brand pay-per-views.
You know why I'm thinking they're doing this?
Do you think this is going to help them when money costs, or is it going to hurt them in the long run later down the road?
It's going to help. Well, here's the thing, okay? First thing is, I think the reason they're doing it is because the individual brands cannot put on a solid pay-per-view to save their lives, okay? Like we've been talking about for the past, months in the show.
Right.
Second of all, okay, I don't think it's really too much about a cost-cutting measure, but I think it's about weeding out all the constant bad matches they have to try to put on a more solid pay-per-view.
Right.
But the only bad thing, though, is that now, because your talent pool is shrinking significantly on these pay-per-views, you're going to see the same talent and the same matches just about every month. So it's going to basically just oversaturate, the pay-per-views and the market. And it's like people can be like, "Well, why am I going to watch this pay-per-view? I just saw these two guys fight last month."
Yeah. Pretty much. Exactly.
Pretty much.
Christopher Carnage, any thoughts on this new process?
Let me tell you something. I've had issues with the process of a lot of things when it comes to wrestling. The one thing that's the biggest issue that keeps talent from being able to achieve their true heights is the schedule. They don't celebrate wrestlers like they used to. They don't get as much pop and circumstances as they used to because you do see them so much. Why am I going to expect Joe Schmo to want to buy a pay-per-view, like you said, of the same match they saw last night?
Exactly.
They have saturated the market too much with this. And the thing is, if you go to live shows, most of the matches you're going to see are setup shows, aka practice shows, and matches, upcoming matches. So
now,
might see a live event might be the main event of the following Raw that week.
Talking about processes,
that's what you see a lot. That's what's really hurting a lot of things, that it rolls over and you see an amount of laziness in matches. Quality goes down. They're wrestling each other so much. They can think of so many things to do. So,
right.
I don't know. It gets a little crazy.
It does. It does. Now, one thing is that
talking about processes here.
ROH.
Before that,
what process?
Before that, they just announced because WrestleMania is going to be in Louisiana, and of course, WrestleMania weekend, you have all those other promotions doing stuff on the same city and WrestleCon and everything. The Louisiana State Athletic Commission announced that they are banning for that weekend blood and pile drivers. So where you probably ain't going to see any kind of blood at WrestleMania, and certainly no pile drivers.
Yeah.
For sure.
Horse shit's what I call it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, Ring of Honor or New Japan? What are we talking about?
Yeah. Throw in. We're going to wrap this segment up real quick. So, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And we're going to move on.
Now for the exciting part about wrestling.
All right.
So, Ring of Honor has announced that they're launching their own WWE Network alternative network service called the Honor Club.
Yes.
And it's an online streaming service. It allows access to past, present Ring of Honor live shows, which will be live streamed going forward, as well as a yearly VIP subscription, free access to every Ring of Honor pay-per-view. It's called the Honor Club. So basically, subscribers get access to ticket pre-sales for live events and a 15% discount on Ring of Honor merchandise at the Ring of Honor Pro Shop. In addition, subscribers get access to the ROH TV archives and to the Video on Demand Vault, which it contains historical events, compilations, interviews, and more. There will also be a private message board for members only. The price is $9.99 per month. Or,
not bad.
If you're feeling really lucky,
not bad at all.
You can do a $99 per year, and that option comes with 50% off all Ring of Honor pay-per-views. The smarter choice is the VIP at $119 a year, which includes all the pay-per-views for free, and it also you can access it with Android or iOS apps. And you get a discount, a bigger discount for the Ring of Honor store, and you also get access to tickets for live events earlier than when the tickets come out too.
No way.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome, man. I love it.
I'm so conflicted now because I've got that, that I could buy, and then don't forget they have the High Spots network too. You can buy for I think about the same price, which has a ton of wrestling promotions on it, interviews and such. And now for New Japan news. Currently, they are in Australia for their Fallout Down Under events. The results have come in from the Sydney on 2/18. The main event was Bullet Club versus Chaos. So some highlights from that event. We had Kushida, who defeated Rocky Romero.
Mm-hmm.
We had Sonata and Evil versus Robbie Eagles and Mick Moretti. We also had the Bullet Club, Kenny Omega, Bad Luck Fale, Chase Owens, and the Guerrillas of Destiny. They defeated Jonah Rock, Damian Starr, Marcus Pitt, Slex, and Elliot Sexton. They said that this match was really good, and Kenny Omega was super over with the crowd. Also, Minoru Suzuki and Lance Archer defeated Juice Robinson and Toa Heinar. That's how you say it. Looks like Lance Archer and his tag team partner Davey Boy Smith Jr. are actually kind of sort of joining Suzuki Gun there, it seems, over the past few weeks. We also saw the group Chaos, which featured Okada, Jay White, and Will Ospreay, defeat the Bullet Club, consisting of Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks.
Damn.
Yes. Now, also, in these Australia events, they're also going to be having some tag team matches where Team Cody versus Team Kenny. So you're going to have Kenny Omega and I believe Chase Owens and I think it's Bad Luck Fal from the Bullet Club fighting, I believe it's Cody and the Young Bucks. So it's a 6-man tag. And pretty much, you get to decide, are you Team Cody or are you Team Kenny? They even have T-shirts now.
Yeah.
They have official Team Kenny, Team Cody shirts.
It's
and also,
crazy, man.
if you watch the new episode of Being the Elite,
they
kind of updated the whole situation with the Bullet Club going on. How they keep saying, "Oh, Bullet Club is fine." Mm-hmm. However, video has surfaced online on YouTube from their latest live show where Kenny Omega pretty much came out and said the Bullet Club is not fine. So even though they've said it's just a rift between two members,
right?
So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how they play this out.
It definitely is. It definitely is going to be neat.
And they have booked for the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view in March. The main event will be Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited to see that.
It definitely is. I'm excited. I'm sure everybody else is excited here. Thank you for viewing tonight and watching the live stream. Since we got this many people on right now, please do not leave because we have a big announcement that we're going to announce right now. Right now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a big announcement. That's it for the in-ring report for this week. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
We have a big announcement right now.
Bionic Elbow.
That's right. If you did not see this on the Facebook page of Podcast City Network, you missed out. So here it is, right here, ladies and gentlemen, our big announcement that we have.
Brought to you by Podcast City Network.
Hey fans, we here at Podcast City Network have a huge announcement.
We had a great show called Draft Tuesday, which we're bringing back in a big way.
It will now be known as Draft Day and be influenced by many programs on the Podcast City Network. Stay tuned.
We're going to air live once a month from City Limits Tap Room in DeLand and have exciting events and segments for you, the fans. Now I'm going to go to Bass Pro and get me a fish pole and some PBR.
So make sure to keep up on all the latest news and happenings on podcastcity.net and all of our social media outlets as we bring to you the first of many exciting experiences only
On Podcast
City
Network.
Right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring up right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I was excited about right now that we have been talking about and what we've been planning here with Podcast City Network and what we're going to plan on doing with our sponsors. Thank you to City Limits Tap Room for supporting us and letting us do this and hold this, ladies and gentlemen, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. Is that not right, Chris?
Oh, that is absolutely correct.
Yeah. Right now, I have it saved, and I'm trying to pull it up, ladies and gentlemen. Right here is the official poster right here. Let me blow this up for you.
Oh, blow it up, Bionic Elbow style.
This right here, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from City Limits Tap Room, the St. Patty's Day party from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. with special guests at 7 p.m. A free corned beef and cabbage.
Free corned beef and cabbage, the official food of St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
with $2 green Bud Light, $3 Guinness, and entertainment at 9 p.m. Provided by Gunshy.
Yes,
There
that's
you go.
right, ladies
Like
and
that?
gentlemen. That is what's going on right
Hype,
there.
hype, hype. Hashtag hype,
Hype.
hype, hype.
Starting March 17th at 7 p.m. over at City Limits Tap Room, the official sponsors of Draft Day. Draft Tuesday is no more, ladies and gentlemen. Draft Tuesday is gone. Draft Tuesday is dead. It is known as Draft Day. Every day is Draft Day at City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida. Is that not right, Chris?
Oh, that is right.
That is right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, for St. Patrick's Day, put on your green, put on your smile, come out to City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida, and have a brew with Chris Carnage, McShaft, Everett Lee, and Mr. Grimlock, Derek.
Camden Cruz just posted on the live stream here. Wow, Camden's birthday. Hashtag draft day.
And he just, what the hell, Camden?
And he just pinned
horse shit. Come on, man. Don't shit all over my party.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's Camden Cruz, ladies and gentlemen. He'll pop up there too. You can have a beer with Mr. Seven Kingdoms Camden Cruz, the most busiest man. Mr. 365 days. You can have a beer with him. Is that not right, Chris?
Oh, man.
Mr. 365, me working. Camden, we love you. We love everything that you do with Seven Kingdoms, and everything that you do, you touch turns to gold.
He says he only wears black.
Oh! Well, it's more like a black shade of green.
Oh my God. Let me throw this up, man. Here we go.
Damn!
Ooh, you gonna get a super kick?
Yeah. Whoa, you want a super kick?
Yeah, I do it.
Come on. There we go. You got a super kick there.
Hashtag exotic meats day. Yes.
Well, you know what? This is all possible by the Podcast City Network, ladies and gentlemen. Right here.
Team meat.
This is brought to you by the Podcast City Network. We'll let the promo right here do the talking.
Hey fans, here at Podcast City Network we have a lot of great shows.
We have a wide variety of shows that cover the landscape in podcast, a podcast for anyone and everyone.
Such as The Chris Carnage Show,
The Everett Lee Show,
ELS Uncut,
Super Radio Brothers,
Imaginarium with Scott and Todd,
Forking Around with Cody,
The Grimlock Show,
and Films of Classic.
and you can catch these and a whole bunch more only on podcastcity.net or on all of our great social media outlets.
Head over to facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit that thumbs up. You can send a tweet to Podcast City Network on Twitter at Podcast City Net.
So make sure that you join us for all this only on Podcast City Network.
Looks like the technical difficulty turtle just walked his way in.
Why I don't update my shit, man. I'm sorry. I don't update it because it screws up.
You know, if you update it, it may not screw up.
Well, the last time I freaking updated it, screwed everything up. My camera's broke, man.
That's why you need to be using an Apple, not a Windows computer.
Apple, do not get me started, boy. Do not get me started.
Are you gonna reach that hand through the camera here like you did earlier? Wait.
I'm getting better close to you.
I can't even reach. See?
Would you like to have a Cosby lollipop?
Wow.
Such a girly grip there. It tickles.
Hey, Ming. Remember Ming? Ming? Here we go.
Yeah. The claw. Kalima.
Kalima.
It's like Indiana Jones gonna take out my heart. Kalima. Kalima. It's worse than like Umaga's finisher. He just hits you with his thumb.
Damn!
Oh man.
But you know and I know that you are only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
Chris, guess what?
What?
Guess what McShaft just did? You know what's going to happen when you do that to Everett Lee? What's going to happen? Chris, should he know what's going to happen?
Oh, I
Should he know?
Hey, so we
I'll
just
tell you what's going to happen.
Know what's gonna happen? You just made the list!
Hey, we just got hashtag the technical difficulty turtle. Or is that, you know what we could do? We could start another hashtag, the technical difficulty taint.
Woo! Woo!
Technical difficulty turtle. Where's that turtle at?
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys! Hey, you guys!
Do I have everybody's attention now?
Well, you know what? Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey,
thank you
guys.
tonight for watching the Everett Lee
Yay.
Show, but at least you're not...
Bitching and
And
moaning
and
and
bitching
bitching
and
and
moaning.
bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching. Are
Well,
you
technically,
bitching?
we were bitching about Baron Corbin's hairline, but I mean...
Yes! Yes! Yes!
What does Baron Corbin have?
You know, from his eyebrows to his hairline, it's like a $30 Uber ride.
Oh my god, what the...
It's like Sasha Banks.
Now,
Like,
this is a force to be reckoned with.
if you measure the distance from Sasha Banks' eyebrows to her hairline, it's like a $65 Uber ride.
Damn! What a rush!
Oh, my God.
Jackpot.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's pretty much it.
That is
for
it.
The Everett Lee Show.
Everett Lee Show
Before
gone.
we go, we got some people that's going to promote some things.
Promotion
Derek,
from the people.
are you still there?
I am.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Let's start it off
Let's start
with
it
Derek.
out with Derek.
Derek. Grimlock. Damn it, boy. I'm going
What?
to reach through the camera
What's going on?
again.
Why are you freaking out over here?
Is he your stunt double or something?
Oh, it's like Damien Sandow. I call myself Damien McShaftdow.
Derek, promote, please. Promote before
Promote
he
what?
talks again.
Promote what?
Okay,
Please promote what?
I wasn't going to have any much to say as far as content to be brought forward, or what to wait for, what to watch for. But when I do, I am going to make an announcement. It'll be live on Facebook. I'll just say my best thing to say to people to watch my show would be to, look at the other side of the rails. Look on the other side of the train tracks, and just not stick to your one side. Try to broaden your scope. And I think if you can watch my show with that type of mindset, you will enjoy it.
Yes, definitely. And where can people check out the Grimlock Show on social media?
Yeah, definitely. Facebook and Twitter, as well as our website, podcastcity.net. Check us out.
Awesome. Thank you. And Chris Carnage. Let people know again.
Carnage.
Yes, about the Chris Carnage Show, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man, the Chris Carnage Show will be dropping its first episode tomorrow, so make sure you keep your eyes glued to not only the Chris Carnage page on Facebook, but also at Planet Carnage on Twitter. You can also go on to podcastcity.net as it will be posted on there, and obviously on the Podcast City Network Facebook page.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Right here is the Podcast City Network logo. As soon as I put it on.
Oh, there you go.
Whoops. There we go. Bam! Right there. There we go. And let's go ahead and add this. McShaft.
Oh.
What show do you have, man? What show do you have? Let me try.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What about you, man? What about Mr. Restaurant Review, man?
Ah, okay. So, if you're the type of person that likes to try new restaurants, new bars, if you, for example, have heard a lot about a certain place, aren't sure if you want to go to it or not just because of all the mixed reviews, or if you haven't heard reviews about anywhere at all, and you're just curious to see how somewhere is, then check out Forking Around with Cody. So basis of this podcast is to give restaurant and bar reviews from, so far, the local Volusia County area. However, I will be expanding out into other regions of Florida right now and possibly out of state. And the whole premises of this is to give an honest review of a bar or restaurant that I go to. I try to go to one about once a week. And just to kind of help either promote or say, stay away from this place. So if you're curious, for example, let's say you've never been to, where's the place I've been? The Zen Bistro in Daytona, my first episode. And you've heard mixed reviews, some good, some bad. You're not sure if you want to go there and spend the money. Well, check out the first episode I did of Forking Around with Cody, where I actually review the Zen Bistro. I look at things such as the appearance of the restaurant, the service, the food, and give an overall rating to it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And, of course, on the Podcast City Network, you have the Everett Lee Show right there, ladies and gentlemen. Brought to you by the Podcast City Network.
That guy looks familiar in that picture.
Hello. I had to do that. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in on this podcast. Thank you, everyone that's tuned in tonight, watched the live stream, and those that have called in and talked with us. Thank you so much. And that's it for the Everett Lee Show, ladies and gentlemen. You can check the Everett Lee Show out on Facebook. Head over to facebook.com/the Everett Lee Show. Hit that thumbs up. And also, you can check out the Everett Lee Show on Twitter at the Everett _Lee. Send me a tweet, man. And that is it for the Everett Lee Show, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. Am I forgetting anything else? I don't think I am.
Did you feed your kid tonight?
Yeah, I fed my kid.
Okay, all right, you're good then.
Yeah.
I was there.
I definitely fed my kid. Because I know I fed my kid. Because if I didn't, my wife would let me know about it, and basically I'd be screwed. Yeah. And I think that's it. So we're going to hit that intro music.
Oh, yeah. We also want to shout out, too, that I beat Mr. Everett Lee in mini golf last weekend, too. So somebody's got to improve their mini golf game over here.
Wish.
I think I beat him by like 10 strokes or something like that.
Oh, yeah, you wish.
Yeah.
You definitely wish that you beat me. Chris, Derek, thank you so much, man. Thank you guys for jumping on here. As always, joining me and McShaft for the Everett Lee Show podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll see you again next week, or you'll hear from me next week, and all of us next week of the Podcast City Network crew. And shout out to all the other shows on Podcast City Network. This is Everett Lee signing off. Have a good night, and we'll see you again next week of the Everett Lee Show.